Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, all series videos. Thank you so much for the likes, the comments, and for subscribing. In this video, I'll be updating you on his mistress child. Guess what? Ashok found out Varun's location and goes to rescue Krishna. You need to watch till the end to find out how it happened. Please subscribe to this channel and don't forget to click on the like button. It will help this video a lot. Let's go. The episode starts with Yashoda going towards Ashok and Alok when some sadhus come in front of her and ask for charity. Alok recalls asking the sadhus for help to hide Ashok from his family. Ashok hides. Yashoda gives money to the sadhus. Yashoda asks them, why was someone from them asking about Varun? They tell that they have heard that Varun had kidnapped Krishna. Yashoda says even she feels the same and tells that she doesn't know where her son is. She asks them to tell Ashok Gupta that his wife misses him and his family needs him. And I miss him too. She cries. Ashok feels her pain. Music plays. Yashoda goes from there. Ashok covers his face and goes in different direction. Kamini calls Varun and says, if Yashoda had picked the call instead of Mawa, then it would have been problematic. She tells him that if she gets exposed, then her entry will be banned in her marker. Varun says nothing will happen and tells her he will sell Krishna and will send him very far from here. He asks her not to worry and says nobody will hear her voice. Kamini praises Mawa and says, you have done a big favor on me, else my plan would have been ruined. She calls Mawa near her and says, you will benefit from this, as your son will become the heir. Mawa says, I am very excited, and asks her to help her bring up her son. Kamini says, I will bring up our baby. Mawa says, you are too good and takes care of me so much. I will never forget your favor. She says, Yashoda must be crying sitting in the temple. Kamini says, they shall see her crying. Yashoda is crying in the temple for Krishna. Nupur asks if he is important for you. Yashoda says yes. Nupur gets sad. Yashoda takes her in her lap and says, Asta and you are equally important to me. Nupur prays to God to send Krishna back. Mawa smiles. Kamini gets an idea to instigate Asta. She tells Mawa that she will be back. She comes to Asta and asks, did you realize Yashoda's words? And tells that Krishna is important for Yashoda. Until he returns, she will cry. She asks her not to take tension and says, Bua loves you so much. Asta tells Nupur that Mommy said that Krishna is important for her. Nupur says, Mommy said that he is also important for her like us. Nupur says, Krishna will come. Asta says he will not come. Amma comes there, asks Asta not to say it for Baya. Yashoda cries while making food. Babuji asks her to leave her stubbornness. Yashoda says this is right. Babuji says, I caused my decision that my granddaughters are suffering. He asks her not to argue with him, but accept my decision. Yashoda asks for his blessings to get Krishna and says, if you bless me, then I will break this chula. He moves back. Amma asks him to agree. Ashok tells that nothing could be found about Varun. Alok asks him to inquire. Banzar looks inside the room through the window and hears Ashok telling that he wants to search Krishna, but he couldn't do something in these clothes, so give me permission to change it so that its prestige is maintained. Alok gives him permission. Banzar hears all. Ashok wears his old clothes and assures that he will come after getting Krishna. He goes with Alok. Banzar calls Kamini and tells everything. Kamini is shocked. Bansal tells her that he will go behind Ashok and will send her live location. Kamini says, I will not let you bring Krishna in this house. Bansal following Ashok. Ashok realizes someone is following him. A guy collides with Bansal. Bansal loses track of Ashok and thinks, where did he go? Ashok comes to some guy and tells that he wants to find Varun, who has kidnapped Krishna. He says Krishna is close to me. He then tells the guy that he doesn't have money to give him and he can't save him from police also. The guy asks him to sit and inquires about Varun. Kamini comes to Bansal and scolds him for missing Ashok. Bansal says he is doing this for her. Just then, he sees Ashok in a house. The guy is inquiring about Varun when another guy asks if Krishna is his illegitimate son, because of whom he had left home. Other guy says the lawyer is very worried. They tell that he is worried for his illegitimate son. Ashok gets angry and tells that Krishna is legitimate son of Mala and me. The guy tells Ashok that Varun is in Ghana. Ashok asks where. The guy tells him Bansal hears them. Ashok calls police control room and informs that Krishna is in Ghana. Kamini calls Varun and asks him to leave from Ghana. She tells that Ashok is a clever lawyer and will come there. Varun says he can't find us. Kamini says neither you nor Krishna shall be found by Ashok. Bansal asks him to inform her where he is. Kamini ends the call and tells Bansal that this chapter will be closed. Now Varun will hand over Krishna to them between 2 to 3 p.m. and then they will make Krishna go out of border. Bansal says, I will give you party for this. Kamini asks him to come. They turn to see and see Ashok standing and hearing them. Ashok tells her that they can't do bad with Krishna since his father is still alive. Kamini reminds him that he has become sadhu. Ashok says he has learnt the real value of Gita and its meanings and says no Gigi or Jija. She asks, what will you do? Sadhus and the guys who have helped Ashok comes there and surrounds them. Ashok keeps Trishul on Basal's chest and threatens Kamini. He asks her to make call to Varun. She asks what to tell him. Kamini calls Varun and tells that Ashok's destiny is bad and tells that sadhus have come to take Ashok from here. Varun doesn't believe her. Kamini says she will do video call to him. She makes him video call and shows him Ashok. Ashok and the sadhus act as if they are taking him away. Varun says okay and ends the call. Ashok tells Kamini that they will be in his men's custody until Krishna is found, and the guy too searched the location using the number. Kamini gets upset. Yashoda cries, venting out her pain in front of Amma. Nupur asks her to leave everything on God and says he will make everything fine. Yashoda says yes. Nupur asks her to rest and tries to massage her feet. Yashoda refuses. Nupur insists to massage her feet. The guy tracks Varun and tells Ashok that Varun is near the Ghana jungle. Varun switches off his phone and the guy couldn't track him. Other guy asks Ashok to take his bike as Ghana is big. Alok calls Yashoda and tells that Varun and Krishna are in Ghana. Yashoda is about to leave. Mawa turns to Yashoda. Yashoda says, we are already suffering. One day Babuji will bless me and say that I did right. She says she is going to search Krishna. Asta stops Yashoda, but Nupur asks her to go. Babuji says, I will never be thankful to you if Krishna comes here. Then get ready for the partition of the relations too. Yashoda is shocked. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and come back for more updates from your favorite Z Word series.